An understanding of the way science sits in the world, both intellectually and politically, practically, industrially, is going to be necessary for us to make decisions that are fundamental as to the world that we're entering.
Evolutionary biology, when it only considers genes, enzymes, proteins, and so on, and natural selection, leaves all kinds of holes in the story, which can be taken advantage of by creationists and intelligent design people. Most of those holes can be plugged by incorporating far from equilibrium thermodynamics into evolutionary theory. Far from equilibrium thermodynamics, it reveals matter as capable of self-organization. The matter that genes act on is an active matter, is a morphogenetic matter, so that all that genes have to do is guide this active, morphogenetically pregnant matter in different directions to produce different species, and you don't have to count on genes to do everything.
Emergence exists in the cosmos at all scales and times. Atoms interact, and there's an emergent phenomenon called molecules, and molecules interact, and there's an emergent phenomenon right on up through our level in this seamlessly interconnected whole, where we have the emergent phenomenon of human consciousness.
Your spirit, your true self, is like the moon, and your mind, what you think of yourself, is like the surface of a lake. And that every thought and every sensory stimulus that you have and every action that you do is like a rock dropping into the lake, causing ripples. So you have to still the surface of the lake. And then when it's undistorted, then you are in a position for enlightenment to happen.
And logos is one word for nature itself. Okay, it's one word for being itself. It's a kind of oneness. Now, though there are these disparate things, they still fall under this oneness, which scientists feel, I think most scientists feel very comfortable with.
I see art and science as parallel activities. I am very amazed by how creative and how intuitive scientists, for the most part, really are, and how analytical artists really are.
You cannot avoid to speak about the global body of today. In different corners of the world, the information goes immediately through us. Somebody here in Venice, and somebody in New York, or somebody in São Paulo had at the same time the same idea or the same intuition. How this energy circulates, how it works.
The whole thing about waveforms is that they exist throughout the spectrum, in macro and micro scale. But the human ear only hears within a certain small spectrum. The human being is almost just synchronizing these things and just trying to exist in a world where you're having these overlapping waveforms that in one level or another influence your full living pattern, you know?
Philosophers are very good at asking questions. Wittgenstein wrote the Tractatus. The limits of my language are the limits of my world. And then he went beyond the limits. Communication is non-material and non-local.
Science is about asking questions, not just to find the last, give the last word. Yes, we want to find the answers. This is why we ask the questions. But as soon as we get an answer, we have other 10 questions that we want to answer. To be a dancer, you have to use a lot of laws of physics. For me, dance is more like a language. As math is a language of science, and as often happens, when people are able to speak more than one language, there is a deeper understanding of the meaning of the words. At the end, we all talk about nature, and we all talk about human beings.